Hello, my friends. I'd like to tell you a story. Now, it has been said that every story must have a beginning, a middle, and an end. That people like to be carried on a journey and reach a destination. But our story today can't have a beginning, or at least we can't remember it, and we are far from ready to let it have an end. So maybe you will have to settle today for a middle and read on. You see, our story is a story about a small building in a small village in East Devon, which is in many respects both unremarkable and ordinary. It is old, somewhere between pretty old and very old, at least that's what most of the locals think. With its sturdy stone walls and slate roof, it appears sleepy and quaint, surrounded by around half an acre of grass, which is often mown, but sometimes isn't. Square and homely, tucked away on its own, and sometimes barely visible in the village, it seems half asleep. It has no real car parking and very little facilities. It's a bit chilly in the winter and actually often a little bit chilly in the summer. It's a little bit dusty, a little bit damp, and bits of it need repair. Now the local people know it isn't the only building like it. Some who have travelled far away have seen others. It is, the travellers have said, part of something bigger, which is stretched far and wide. But they didn't really know or care much about those others, or for that other thing, which was somewhere else. In the village, the old building sits quietly. If you did happen to glance up its path to its front door when passing, well, most of the time, nothing would seem to be happening there. The guardian of this little building lives a short distance away, perhaps the distance a local farmer might call a gunshot. Now there have been many guardians in the past, each sent from somewhere else to the village to keep the building. Sometimes they come for a few seasons, sometimes for many, and then they leave, called on to another building perhaps, where they're needed. The new guardian of this building is older. No one knows how much older, but he seems wise in the ways of country people, and some of them have taken to him. He told them that he came to stay, and they loved him for that, and all that he did. On some days he visits, carrying the one metal key which, if handled with skill, will open the great, grudgingly heavy wooden door of the building. Most of the time it's empty, except for mice and bats and spiders and beetles who call it home. Sometimes people come and sit a while. Others walk around inside and gaze at the beauty of its stained glass windows and its high roof, feeling something just a little special about the place. But the guardian knows it must be kept ready, because it will be needed, and he will be called upon. Then people will come. Sometimes there'll be just a few, 30 or so, many from nearby, some walking from their homes. But sometimes more, 60, 80, 100, or even more than that, many of them from further away. The roads outside full of hastily parked cars jostling for space. You see, dear friends, appearances can be deceptive, and this little stone building is in fact the hub of an evolving drama, one which, even when it appears tranquil, is in fact just simmering away. It is the story, my friends, of a time traveller, a history maker, a spot where for some it is easy to feel the divide between the natural and the supernatural. It is a sentinel to happiness and grief, the naming of new lives and the ending of others. It is a place of laughter and tears, hopes and fears, of ceremony and ritual, of love and power. In fact, all that it is to be human in the world is witnessed in this stone building, because this, dear listener, is a parish church. More than this building is unique. Yes, there of course are plenty of other churches in England, but not one single one is like this. Of course, other churches bear witness to the colour and drama of human lives, but you see, this church is different. The hymns which have been raised to its rafters, the prayers that have soared, the heads that have bowed, the tears that have fallen, the hands that have clasped, the rings exchanged, coffins borne and lowered, bouquets tossed, registers signed, banns called, forgiveness asked for, peace given, first kisses exchanged, fellowship offered, all are ours. Our stories, our beginnings, middle, and ends are written here in its registers and gravestones. This is our church.